A special thank you to the awesome folks over at Saban Films for sending me an early screener to a movie that hits select cinemas on January 19th, and that movie is called Cult Killer, and it stars Antonio Banderas and Alice Eve. Is this movie any good? Well, it certainly annoyed me. I hope you're all strapped in and ready for this ride as we talk about Cult Killer. Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome to the channel. My name's Mike and thank you for taking your own time out to check out this video. I am going to touch on a slight spoiler in a moment, but it's not really a spoiler because it happens about 10 minutes into the movie and it's probably in the trailer, although I've not seen that said trailer. So Cult Killer, what it's all around is a PI and his partner decide to investigate this mystery of a wealthy family with a dark secret. Stop what you're doing, because the link down below is to my Patreon. If you're not already a member, membership's £1 per month. You get access to so much early stuff, videos, competitions, giveaways, and so much more. Get your name in the limelight like these absolute legends. Thank you to all of them who helped to support me and Patreon. It really, really means a lot. What are you waiting for? Become a legend yourself. Get your name in the limelight, and I'll see you over there at Patreon. Going into this one, I only saw the poster and of course Antonio Banderas and Alice Eve as the main cast, and that's all I knew. After finishing this movie, it left me extremely annoyed to the point where I hated this movie. Now, let's get into why, but before we do, you might be wondering, Mike, well, is there actually any positives to this? And yeah, there is. I'm going to point out a couple right here. The first one I've got to mention is the cinematography. This movie is nicely shot. It's interesting in the way it's done, and I think it is at least shot competently, right? So it's not an ugly looking movie or anything like that. And there's a couple of moments going into another positive here where there is some practical effects of some really use of blood and some kind of graphic scenes, like very minimal graphic scenes, but the couple that we get, it was interesting, certainly piqued my interest that little bit extra. And performances from our main two, Alice Eve and Antonio Banderas, are fine. They both do an okay job, but that's kind of about it. However, going into those negatives and where this movie ultimately left me really, really annoyed is this is the slight spoiler. 10 minutes into this movie, Antonio Banderas' character dies, right? They get stabbed by this serial killer going around who's haunting this wealthy family. So that's in the plot synopsis. The kind of PI kind of partner thing, not so much in a way. Now, the issue that we have with this movie, and this is where it really left me annoyed and why I can't recommend this, is the start of this movie. Antonio Banderas' character is meeting up with Alice Eve's character of Cassie Holt, right? And she is this drunk, she's had this past trauma. He takes her under a wing, and through flashbacks we learn about their relationship, not in terms of like a sexual one, but just in terms of a solid friendship, like a mentor kind of thing, right? So throughout this movie, as we start getting to modern day and we get to this kind of serial killer on the hunt for this wealthy family, we get flashbacks galore. And I mean, after about every 5-10 minutes, we get a flashback with Antonio Banderas and Alice Eve, right? And of course, this is ultimately kind of leading to her skills and leading to like the end of the story. But those flashbacks take every bit of momentum that this movie builds and throws it out of the window to give you a flashback, which ultimately makes no sense. Because it's not as if the character is dreaming and thinking back to that time that they had that moment with their mentor. It is just shown to you, the audience, basically to not have you figure out anything here, but to spoon feed you exactly what is going on every single step of the way. Because if this movie actually took the time to have all the flashback sequences in a row, show you exactly how this relationship forms, all the studying, all the work that these two put in together to get our character to the point at where she is present day, which these flashbacks don't even affect anything present day wise, pretty much, this movie would have been far better and a far superior film on just that one change alone. However, it doesn't stop there. This movie then proceeds when Antonio Banderas' character dies. After the first 5 minutes of his death, he is basically forgotten except flashback sequences, and this just becomes an absolute utter trash pile of a movie because it does not know which direction it wants to go. The narrative is absolutely generic as they come, to the point you're going to see every twist, every turn, how this is going to end. You're going to see it from the get-go, and it just leaves you with absolutely no suspense, no tension, no surprises, and ultimately fails in delivering anything that is entertaining. This is about an hour 45 minutes long, and it definitely felt about 20 minutes way too long, and we could have got to the ending that far much quicker. My overall score for Cult Killer is a 1 out of 5 stars. Have you seen this movie? Are you going to check it out? I'm usually a lot more positive, but guys, this one really left me frustrated, so I tried to keep it as cool as I could. I hope you enjoyed this review. Certainly give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel by clicking the red button down below. Check out these videos right here if you want to see more from me and the channel. But until next time, I'll see you guys. I'll be seeing you later.